Do me a favor, say some words, buddy.
I say words and then I say some more in song because I love you.
Perfect. Good start.
Welcome to the Bloody and Sutty show.
Oh.
My name is Bloody the Elf. This is
SuttySmash.
welcome to the podcast for jackasses by jackasses.
Yep.
Got a great show to you tonight, buddy. What are we doing
We are working. Hold on.
for the weekend?
Amen. We are playing off something we had talked about in a previous cast. We are diving right into a death-themed episode, I guess you can call that.
That's out of the normal for us.
Weird.
Yep.
So we're gonna discuss Neil Peart a little bit because he died recently.
Yep.
A couple days ago. That beautiful bastard, glorious drummer for Rush. For those of you that don't know, was a goddamn legend. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Then we're gonna dip right into celebrity Deathpool. We'll talk about doing that. We've got some our own selections. Each of us has chosen 5. We're not really picking dates or any of that. We're just like, hey, these 5 people probably gonna die this year. So we'll go through those selections. Bloody, did you get the This Week in Dumb? Did you get any stories?
Bro, come on. I show prep.
Okay.
I show prep at 10 o'clock. Well, hey man, it's a 24-hour news cycle.
That's
I gotta know what's up to date.
Latest and greatest. Dope. So after that, we will have a Rotten Tomatoes game for Bloody the Elf that is based in that same little theme where, the hero leaves us before we may be ready. So the hero leaves us before the end of the movie. Or protagonist. Not necessarily hero, but the protagonist leaves us before the movie 4 credits roll.
Well, you just ruined $1 Million Baby for me, so I appreciate that.
Yep, that's what I'm here for. I feel like I've asked you about if you've seen that movie for several other instances.
Probably.
Yeah.
I am the forever. Well, I only let you down one time this evening, but then again, you only asked one, so I was batting 1,000. Have you seen? No. I just sent you sad faces now.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry. Hold on, I'm trying.
If you have to ask, the answer is probably no.
Well, I asked you a second one and you never answered, so I'm just assuming.
Oh, wait, hang on.
You have. Oh, it's too late now.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Okay.
Fallen.
What's the answer?
Which one is that? You say with Denzel Washington and God John Goodman, I'm going to punch you in the fucking dick. I don't know what that is.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's where they are detectives. They start looking for a serial killer. and because one gets killed, like is put to death, and then another one comes up and starts killing people to his same MO.
I don't think so, but I'll be okay.
Well, that's all right.
Actually, I almost appreciate having one in there that I didn't see, because it's like your control for that experiment on
That's
whether
fair.
or not whether it matters if you've seen it or not.
That is fair.
So far, the experiment has said, no, it doesn't really matter. You kind of get an idea. And sometimes,
you're so great at this game that
especially for me,
yeah.
it's like, hey, dude, way to go. You kept it under 4,000 this time, which is somehow mathematically possible.
Why wouldn't it be? But yeah, so let's let's dive right into it, buddy.
Okay.
Neil Peart.
Yeah.
He died. His death was announced yesterday, the 10th, or technically 2 days ago now, but the 10th is when his death was announced. Motherfucker actually died on the 7th.
Yeah, he died a few days prior.
Yes, but Rush didn't put out any. They didn't rush that announcement. Oh.
I'd like to think that we are talking about this just for that one joke right there. Only reason we brought it up.
Oh man. But yeah, they waited 3 days to announce that he had died, and he was battling cancer, I think it was.
Brain cancer, yeah.
So, yeah, so I mean, he wasn't long for this world. But I don't understand why they would have held on to the news for 3 days, you know? Because he didn't have any other family, and I think it would have been, I don't know, good to let the fans know, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of just let his body go cold for 3 days and be like, oh, BT Dubs, he's dead. And then,
well, I get it though. At the same time, like when you're that prominent of a celebrity, like people knew who Neil Peart was. Like I'm not even a drummer. I don't drum at all, and I don't even like Rush. But I know who Neil Peart is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like he's a pretty famous fucking guy.
he is.
And when he passes, you know, if you immediately go to it, then it's like media blitz. And they probably just wanted to get like their shit together first, where
I
it's
guess that's
like,
fair.
let's get the family time to grieve,
That's
and let's
totally fair.
let their bandmates, his brothers, grieve, and then later on deal with the shitstorm that's going to be.
Well, now I feel like an asshole. It's like I wanted to know. The minute he flatlined, I needed to know.
Well,
But now
I would want to
get-
know too, but at the same way, I can understand.
Yeah, no, I
Why?
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm just a dick.
Hey, your bandmate's dead. Care to comment? Not right now.
Right.
You know what's fucked up is that phone call probably happened
It probably did.
verbatim.
Some nurse probably leaked it to somebody who told somebody else.
TMZ's like,
Yeah.
they got fucking what's his nuts calling him.
Fucking bloodhounds.
That's okay. He's a lawyer. Harvey Levitz. That's his name. Why do I know that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I do.
Well, and now here we are.
And here we are. Oh shit!
Yeah,
It still
it's
says
a
the.
sad day. Go
It's
ahead.
funny. It says the BS awards at the top of my thing. Still, I'll probably take that off. There we go. Quality podcast. This is a good pod. Good pod. But yeah, no, I get why they did it. It's just really uncommon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, normally it's out pretty quickly,
And
but I mean,
almost immediately. Why do you
Yeah.
think they do that?
I don't know.
Why don't people hold on to it a little bit longer? Is it honestly?
Now that you say it, though, like and justify it the way that you did, it's like, yeah, that's what I would do.
Makes a lot
Like,
of
if
sense.
somebody close to me died, I wouldn't be like, hey, everybody,
Take
me
to
call-
Twitter immediately.
yeah, right.
Do you think that it's not even them that? Do you think it just gets leaked every single time, like you were saying? Like, hey, I've got a story for you for $50,000. I'll tell you who died. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, okay, well, who died?
I'm
And
sure
then-
that's some of them, you know.
And then others are like, especially with like
others are-
music.
It's
Like-
like press conferences are held, and PR people, and you know what the fucked thing is PR people, especially when it's bands.
Yeah.
PR people are probably like, hey, we need to jump on this and then start booking tour dates. And,
Absolutely. They
yeah,
make money
it's
off
like-
of it.
It's like, Fuck, man, that's awful.
Do you remember when Paul Gray, the bass player of Slipknot, died, and they pushed all those guys out? Like, I think either the day of or the next day to do a press conference. That was the most single depressing thing I've ever seen in my life. They were a mess. And they didn't want to fucking do that. Yeah.
No, I remember that 100%. And they dedicated one of the songs. It was Suffer, I think. Snuff or Suffer. I don't remember which one. But they did the whole music video behind it was dedicated to him. And then... different band entirely, but hearing that song, like it's called ZZYXX Road, I think. Real slow, fucking melodic song. Just talking about how tired he is of fame and shit, and being like pushed so hard to do shit, getting no days off, and to put your family and feelings behind and whatnot. It's a really good song. But when I heard of it, or heard that song and the lyrics to that song, it made me think of that situation specifically. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked.
I wonder how much of it is PR people too, though.
I'm sure they play a part in it for sure. And it may just be the inevitability of being famous and dying, right? Like, PR people know that it's going to get leaked, so you either get in front of it or react to it, yeah.
Fuck, just react to it then. Like, I don't...
Right? Just let it sit.
I get playing it both ways at the same time, but it's just like... That's gotta be tough.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not a fan. It's a good thing we're not famous.
Speak for fucking self, dude. I am as internet famous as it gets. Everyone in your chat right now knows who I am.
There are dozens of us.
There are literally tens of us. There's like 10 of us.
10 of us. So yeah, I guess that's celebrity deaths. That segues us right into our Deathpool selections.
Absolutely. I wonder how much overlap we're gonna have, because we don't talk about it. Like, we just kind of bring it in.
Yeah, we just swooped it in there. I have some that R.I.P. Neil Peart. You are absolutely right. I have some that I picked that I was like, this is definitely gonna happen. Like, there's some that I feel are, and I hate using the term, but almost shoo-ins. Like this happening. And a couple that I was like, fucking maybe. Let's throw it out there. So we'll see.
You know who's definitely not on either of our lists? We joked about this earlier. Betty White. She's fucking immortal. She's never gonna die.
So for this Deathpool, we decided. Are we running with that name?
Yeah.
You gonna run with it?
I like it.
So for the Deathpool, we decided on a name. We're calling it the Bloody and Sutty's 2020 Betty White Mortality Invitational, because Betty White is immortal. She's not going to die. She's not on either of our lists.
She will destroy your list.
Yeah, so she is what the New England Patriots were for the last decade.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
A killing machine.
So yeah, fucking A. Do you want to go ahead and kick it off with your first one?
Okay, so I picked my first one. Actually, my first two are kind of like a pair. We'll take them in succession like normal.
Sure.
But my first one was somebody who I thought was already dead, and then I had one of my friends from work was like, "Oh no," and he looks really bad, like ugh. And then, so my first one is 98 years of age, Prince Philip. He looks like a fucking zombie. That's what I said. No, he's very much still alive, sort of, but he's like he is so.
Just in a
he looks like a goblin. He is horrifying. Like, his ears never quit growing, so they're like.
Oh, fucking A. That's awesome. My first one is another one that as every year goes by, I'm like, holy shit, he's still kicking? He's still fucking alive? It's Kirk Douglas. Not Kirk Douglas from Spartacus.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Dad.
Yeah. He's a million.
103 years old.
No.
He is 103. So he was my. That's that one's getting mopped up this year. Because he just looked similar to Prince Philip. He looks just constantly unaware.
He looks like he died 6 months ago until someone went and took a picture of him.
They're just weekend at Bernie's. Bernie's-ing.
Are we sure he's alive for real?
He's wearing sunglasses everywhere.
Yeah, because his eyes are so sunken into the back of his head, they're worried about them actually falling through his ocular sockets.
He's worried. They're worried about him sunburning his brain.
Yes.
Oh, man.
All right. And with Prince Philip, I feel like once Prince Philip dies,
Yeah.
which is frequent occurrence, his spouse will follow shortly thereafter.
Right.
Queen Elizabeth II, who is a daunting 93 years of age.
Yeah, but she was a badass.
I don't think that helps her any.
I think it does. I think because she
I think
was,
being spry is good. But when you run the most stressful job your country has to offer to 93 years of age, I don't know. She's queen.
The monarchy now isn't what it was before, because the monarchy is more symbolic than anything else at this point. They have parliament and all that other stuff and prime minister. They have a fucking prime minister, if I remember correctly.
But she still oversees them, make sure they're not fucking up. Do you know what happened? Like, this is what we need here. But like when the Parliament had like a record low approval rating, the Queen went in, fucking fired all of them. They're like, try again, go and do new elections. Fired all of them. You're all fucking fired. New elections, we're starting over.
Jesus, that's crazy.
Can you imagine the amount of paperwork she had to do for that? Like, we need you to sign 7,000 forms. Yeah, well, like, granted. But still, she had to sign them.
You're fired.
You are the weakest link. Oh, goodbye.
Goodbye.
But the thing is, I think once her husband goes, she will also go.
Yeah.
She will die of a broken heart.
Yeah. Aw.
Granted, she has the best medical care in the world at her fingertips, but
Right.
once the ticker stops, she's 93, man. She's not going through major surgeries. She'll die.
Yeah, that's fair. So my next one, I don't have my notes, so I don't have his age off the top of so if you want to look up the age for me.
I got it. Hit me.
All right. Alex Trebek.
Oh, yeah. He was on my... I almost put him on my list. He is...
He's
79.
79.
Almost
okay.
80. He is in excess of the average age.
Yeah. Poor Trebek. Yeah, Trebek's news is tough. And the statement that he made for those of you who don't know who Alex Trebek is, fucking heathens, first off. Second, he has been the face of Jeopardy since Jeopardy was a thing. He's hosted that show for decades upon decades.
Since it started,
and he just got diagnosed, I think, last year with pancreatic cancer, and that's a bad one.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Yep, Alex Trebek, Audi 5000, 2020 for sure.
John's like, suck it, Trebek.
I'll take the rapist. This is why we're friends.
I'll take anal bum covers. That's an album cover.
Anal bum covers.
Oh man, but yeah. So that's gonna be sad when you see him go. Pancreatic cancer killed Swayze in a handful of months. It 100% did.
It was fast, yeah.
Previously Swayze had crashed a plane and walked away just fine. Yeah, pancreatic cancer. It sneaks in there from the inside.
It sneaks inside your ass, specifically.
Mm-hmm. It sure does.
And my next one was the daunting 89 years of age, Clint Eastwood.
Ooh.
Dirty Harry.
I wondered about him. I feel like when he dies, he's not gonna. Death's gonna be like, "Hey, you ready?" He's like, "Yeah." Give a firm handshake, and they're gonna walk off into the sunset together.
Death's gonna show up to his house. He's gonna pump a shotgun and tell him to get off his lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Throw some racial slurs at him. That's like, are you fucking serious right now? I might just leave you alone for another week.
You might just be stuck here with Betty White.
Yeah.
The two of you.
Yeah, he looks bad too.
He does.
He looks sickly is the thing. Once you get to that age where you look bad, not like you look old. Because elder, especially dudes, we age well. But it's like when you look like you're already dead, you're like,
I can see your skull. I know what your skull looks like.
Did you maybe break your arm back in, I don't know, the 40s? Like, why? Because I can see it.
Yeah, right. Like, and all I have to do to see your skull is just throw some sand at you. That's gonna hit you like it's shrapnel from World War II. Your skin is made of paper mache.
And he's got that face now that's always like, because everything he does hurts.
No. He looks like the fucking priest ghost from the cult ghost from Poltergeist, the first Poltergeist, with all the fucking teeth.
It's so gnarly. He looks awful.
Oh, fuck me. That's awesome. So my next one is former President Jimmy Carter, because I think he's in his 90s as well. Look up that age. I think he was 93, if I remember right.
Hang on a second.
Okay. He looks like he chose poorly in Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought Jimmy Carter was dead, like for real. I'm I'm pretty sure he's dead, dude. No, he's 95.
95. There it is.
What the fuck up? Yeah, he's still alive. That's a stressful job.
Yeah.
President?
He was the president.
Oh god, he's got more liver spots than my son has acne.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
It's gross. My next one is he's going to come in the bronze medal for the oldest on my list.
Okay.
At 94 years old, Dick Van Dyke.
Ooh, yeah. The thing is, he's aged really well.
Yeah.
Like, even at 94, he still looks spry. He looks like he can jump up, do a heel click.
And yeah, and the thing is that he looks good, and I think it's just going to be a surprise. Like, he's just going to go gracefully into sleep. Like, his heart's just going to be like, and then he'll go, and everybody's going to be like, I never saw this coming. He was so happy up until, because that happens, you know, where it's just like, oh, didn't see that coming.
It's like, oh man, done. But I mean, it's not really all of a sudden. It's 94 years later.
Yeah,
like it's a good long time.
What's the average age for an American male? Is it 72?
If that. Yeah.
So he's on like 22 years of borrowed time.
Yeah. Next on my list. You ready for this one?
Hit me, dog.
Bill fucking Cosby.
He's gonna kill himself. He's gonna off himself in prison.
Because I don't know, is he in prison now? I don't know.
I don't know.
I was actually very surprised that he had made it through a lot of the court proceedings. I thought the stress of the court proceedings were gonna off him. Oh, he is in prison. John.
Yeah, he's in now.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen soon. He's in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah. No, he's gonna.
Yeah. So and he's check his age for me because I don't have notes.
Sure.
I mean, I have them, but you know.
I don't want to look up his prison sentence. 82. 82 and in prison, that's not good.
Yeah, no, that's not long for this world. But you know what? He probably has it not terrible in there because people love him. But for the things he did, you know,
he's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time. That's fair.
He has a very high risk of killing himself, being shanked, or just dying of natural causes while he's in there. I mean, he does have medical care available to him.
Yeah.
And we're footing that bill, but it's also like, I don't know how good it is. Kind of one of those you get what you pay for type scenarios.
And yeah, exactly that.
Next on my
list.
list.
Who's up on yours? Yeah.
Final. At taking the silver medal for oldest bag of bones was presidential hopeful and failure Bob Dole.
Oh, Bob Dole.
96, right. Bob Dole, 96, Bob Dole.
My dick doesn't stay hard. I'm Bob Dole.
It's impossible for me to cheat on my wife because I lost my dick in a fire. Bob Dole.
Oh, man. I didn't know he was still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, erotic thoughts give him phantom pains.
What?
I don't know.
That's amazing. Hold on, let me check. I think I forgot to write my last one down. And my last one, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Is coming in at 94 years old.
Oh, it's old.
David Attenborough.
I thought you were going to say David Hasselhoff. I don't know who is David Attenborough.
You know who David Attenborough is.
Okay.
If you have ever listened to any documentary ever, he is the narrator for that.
Morgan Freeman?
No, David Attenborough, like Blue Planet and Green Earth. I don't remember.
He's 93, but yeah, I know. Yeah.
Is he 93?
Yeah, May 8th of 1926.
Okay, he's gonna be 94 this year then.
Yeah.
My bad, but you know, what are you gonna do? Bloody. This Week in Dumb, you ready?
This Week in Dumb. Do you have anything you want to add or no?
I've got nothing. I've got nothing.
All right, this one came in hot off the press today. This is why I wait until 10 p.m. to do my news.
Oh, all right.
This one is Gwyneth Paltrow reveals her vagina-scented goop candle, and it sells out immediately. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a candle, and it just says on the candle, verbatim, "This candle smells like my vagina." Gwyneth Paltrow.
Period. Boop. Full stop. All right.
And it's like, oh, I want one. Here's the thing. What if you got that home and you're just like, that's not what it smells like.
Yeah.
Like, this is apple cinnamon.
This is fucking fucking country meadow.
Yeah.
Plus, it
smells
when?
Period.
Because I feel like it's no. That was a poor choice of words.
Full stop. That's a new name for ladies' time of the month.
Oh my god.
Full stop. You want full stop right now?
Quills is like, why would I want my bedroom to smell like a sourdough starter?
I don't know. She's weird like that though. She does all those like vaginal rejuvenation things.
She also does, and I saw this just a couple days ago because somebody showed it to me. And there's like, Gwyneth Paltrow's favorite drink in the morning is an alkaline water with a lemon spritz. And I was like, when you throw the lemon spritz in there, it's no longer alkaline. That's because that's how, you know,
that's acidic.
Balance works. Yeah, it's.
That's gonna be just water again.
Yeah.
That's just some lemon flavored water, bitch. It smells like wet cat food.
And that's the thing, is like, this smells like my vagina when? Like after a fresh bath? Because that's a stark contrast to what it would be after, you know, like a 5-mile run. Like,
yeah.
Because that one's more like burnt onions and tilapia. Like, which which vagina are we smelling?
Yeah.
You know.
We have a shrimp tacos.
Oh my god. Fucking golden. That was the best. I'm glad you picked that story.
I got one more for you.
Okay.
This is going to be the pinnacle of dumb here.
Okay.
Actually, this one came from... I got a link to it here. So I feel like this might be from Florida. Nope, Indiana.
Yeah.
Woman wearing FBI hat tells gas station clerk she's with the CIA. So what happened was...
What happened?
She decides she needs to go to this gas station. So she'd been printing a bunch of fake money, and she wanted to know who was using it or if they were using it. They don't really go too far into it, but she wants to look at their security cameras, and the best way she knows how is to present herself as an authority figure and say she needs to see their cameras. So
as one does, yeah.
And of course, the attendee at the time prize foul, because the FBI and the CIA are clearly two different government organizations.
Yeah.
And do you know the difference between the FBI and the CIA? What they do?
FBI is for local, or not local, but domestic. CIA is for foreign.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They kind of do the same thing, but one is within the grounds of the United States, the other one is outside. Very good. You're so smart. I can never ever teach you.
Law enforcement or something.
Oh yeah, you fucking cheating son of a bitch. Oh well, maybe the kids out. You know what? It's not funny, but it's true. Maybe you learned something today. But yeah, so she goes in there. They call the police, and the police show up. So she's like, so she goes. As the police come in, she leaves and gets into a Dodge Charger with no plates, which they thought was weird. And the cops then run to their car, pull her over. She stops, and they were like, what the hell is going on? She was like, I am CIA. Here are my credentials. Look it up. And I kind of think she was just hoping that after that, they would just be like, okay.
That's a lot of confidence.
That's like handed her
like
her
ID.
Yeah, hands them. Yeah, I don't know. The cop might have been a girl. Hands her the ID, and then they're like, "All right, we'll check into it." And turns out she is not with any government at all. Also,
dirty lying pirate hooker.
She is unemployed, and also her hat's at FBI. And the Charger that she was going with no plates, she actually took
stolen
on a test drive from a Dodge dealership, and then they were like, and she never brought it back. So they're like, they just reported it stolen. So she is in a mess of trouble.
That's not the worst. Like, that's, instead of just being like, all right, you got me, it's like, well, Hail Mary time. Fucking let's see how this works.
She was just like, we're going for it, man. Like, if we're going down, I'm going to ride this out as hard as I can.
That's amazing. So there are a couple that need visited from chat. So for Gwyneth Paltrow's, John was like, the scent should be called "What's in the Box?" And then he's like, my favorite vagina tasted like Chilean sea bass. Spared no expense. I added the spared no expense because Richard Attenborough said that in
Jurassic Park.
Yep, spared no expense. Didn't Frank Avondale do that, impersonate the FBI agent, and manage to get away? I don't know.
Sure.
That's a name and a thing that somebody has probably attempted it quite a few times.
Yeah. Well,
so I will say,
sure.
Confident, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
why not?
They did. Yes, they did. All right. Fucking Bloody.
Are we ready to give the people what they want?
Everything they want, always. I'm here. I aim to please.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. So my chat, I apologize. I'm gonna have to look my notes up on here. So we're gonna, be going back and forth between Bloody and myself.
Yes, sir. It is Rotten Tomatoes game time.
Rotten Tomatoes game. Oh sh. I just saw your Discord picture. The one you sent me.
Pretty good.
That man cannot take selfies. Poor guy. Oh, he was the guy that the Catch Me If You Can was based on. I gotcha. All right. So he probably did. The answer's still the same. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
Did you see that movie?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Here we go. So again, the theme is fucking heroes that left us before the credits rolled. To stick with the death theme. Hi, baby. Hi. No? All right, fine. I was like, hi. She's like,
Bye.
nope.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I get a bye? Okay. Love you. Babe, do you have my phone? Or is my phone somewhere over there? Will you grab me for me, please? Please and thank you. Love my life. Love my life, Marie, ladies and gentlemen. Claps. Claps all around.
Hang on, I got a sound effect, and there it is.
There it is. Yeah. Bloody, while we're waiting, would you like to go over the rules for me?
Yes. So the Rotten Tomatoes game is as such. You are going to select the critics score from Rotten Tomatoes, and you are going to score this like golf. You want the lowest score possible. For every single percentage point that you are off, you gain 1 point. If you guess the movie exactly on, you get a 5-point deduction. So for instance, Gone in 60 Seconds. If you are to say that that movie is 50%, you would find out that the movie is actually a 25%, and you would thusly gain 25 points. That is about as basic as it gets. It is as clear as a hooker's heels.
Mm-hmm. Amen. All right, you ready, Bloody? Are you ready for your
And I
first
said that I'm
film?
ready. Yeah. Copyright strike.
All right. First film. Troubled adolescent Donnie Darko receives a disturbing vision that the world will end in 28 days. With the help of various characters, including a 6-foot rabbit called Frank, he slowly discovers mysterious physical and metaphysical laws that govern his life and that will lead up to the destruction of the universe. Talking, of course, of 2001's Donnie Darko.
I love Donnie Darko. It was one of my favorite movies that I never understood. Like, yeah. I'm not smart enough for this movie, but I know I like it.
Well, that's actually how, so these are 2 fun facts, but they're little ones. So Seth Rogen made his debut in this movie, period.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he was in here, and his first line was, I like boobs. I think that was
Checks
it.
out.
But him and Jake Gyllenhaal at the end, at the rap party, they were like, we don't know what this movie's about. But anyway, directed by Richard Kelly and starring Jake and Maggie Gyllenhaal with a sprinkling of Patrick Swayze, and it's also, like I said, Seth Rogen's debut.
I firstly question your commitment to Sparkle Motion, and I'm gonna say this movie is fresh. Can't imagine very many people saying this was a bad movie. So I'm gonna say at 70%.
70? Okay. Well,
we jot that down.
I do. I'm doing it right now. All right. So, it was indeed fresh. Matter of fact, certified so at 87%.
Ah.
So not terrible. Not too bad.
Swamp Pride had that one at 56, kicking his ass.
Ooh, rough. So a couple fun facts here.
Poor guy.
So Patrick Swayze wore all of his own clothes from the 1980s for the film. He went up to hair and makeup and wardrobe and were like, hey, don't
We're
worry,
good.
I got this. Yeah, we're good here. Don't you worry. And the original advertising material featured a crashing plane, because the movie.
Yeah.
But it opened really close to September 11th, 2001.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to get rid of all of the fucking marketing material, so it wasn't marketed at all. So it did really shitty at the box office and didn't actually get a following until it was released on DVD. And it was before the backing of Drew Barrymore's production company. Almost just going to be released direct to DVD or like a Starz original back then.
More you know.
Yeah. All right. Next film. In 1944, phalangist? I don't know. That's a word. Spain. A girl fascinated with fairy tales is sent along with her pregnant mother to live with her new stepfather, a ruthless captain of the Spanish army. During the night, she meets a fairy who takes her to an old faun in the center of the labyrinth. He tells her she's a princess, but must prove her royalty by surviving 3 gruesome tasks. If she fails, she'll never be able to prove herself to as the true princess, and will never see her real father, the king, ever again. I am speaking. Directed by Guillermo del Toro, starring Ivana Baquero. Talking about 2006 Pan's Labyrinth. All right, well, that's good. That's good. So I'm assuming you haven't seen this one either.
All right. So, yep, didn't see this one. I know nothing about this film. What year was it?
2006. And it's Guillermo del Toro.
What else did he do?
The first 2 Hellboys. Lots of other things that I can't think of off the top of my head. Horror-related shit. Yeah.
I've heard of this movie quite a bit.
Guillermo
del Toro.
Movies.
I don't feel like this one would have been. I'm left with that Guillermo del Toro, the critics don't particularly love him, like don't love his work, but Pan's Labyrinth I hear about all the time. And it's like on that list of like I should probably watch that movie, but I'm never gonna like think of it. Like it's never like front of mind. So I never have that like Toma when I'm looking for a movie to watch. So I'm gonna say this one is fresh. God, I hear about this movie all the time. This is not the one with David Bowie and the Muppets, right?
No. The Muppets.
The Muppets.
No, it's not the one with David Bowie and the Muppets. That's The Labyrinth. This is Pan's Labyrinth. It was all in Spanish.
Is this a subtitle film?
It is.
I'm going to say it's fresh at 80%.
80?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, though. I shot in the dark here.
That's fine. It is fresh, certified so, at a near perfect 95%.
Oh, right on.
So a couple fun things about this movie. So Guillermo del Toro is famous for compiling books full of notes and drawings about his ideas before turning them into films, something he regards as essential to his process. He left years worth of notes for this film in the back of a cab, and when he discovered him missing, he thought it was the end of the project because, you know, it was a fucking cab. However, the cab driver found him and, realizing their importance, tracked Guillermo del Toro down and returned them at great personal difficulty and expense. So del Toro was convinced that this was a blessing and made him even more determined to complete the film.
What a dick move if he's like, yeah, I'm gonna shelve it anyway.
Yeah, it's like, I really need to wipe my ass right. Good thing this guy left these in here. What, baby? Also, so there's a scene where there's this like hand monster that has to eat some fairies. So to do that, the actor had to take bites out of condoms that were filled with fake blood, so that it made the thing. Hi, baby. What? Oh yeah. But yeah, the more you know. You ready for your next film?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go.
All right. The story of Evie Hammond and her unlikely but instrumental part in bringing down the fascist government that's taken over control of futuristic Great Britain. Saved from a life and death situation by a man in a Guy Fawkes mask who calls himself V. She learns a general summary of V's past and after time decides to help him bring down those who committed the atrocities that led to Britain being in the shape that it is currently. Directed by James McTeague, starring Natalie Portman and Hugo Weaving. I'm talking about 2006's V for Vendetta.
Oh, that's a great movie.
There you go.
I saw that one lots of times.
Good.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good movie. Great movie, even. I would say this one is fresh.
Okay.
At 75%.
Oh. 75, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this movie was indeed fresh and certified so. And it was in the 70s. Was it in the low 70s? The high 70s? Maybe even
the mid 70s?
Yeah, maybe even the mid 70s.
Is it room temperature?
It was certified fresh at 73%.
Ah.
So 2 off.
That's
Not
close.
bad. Not bad at all. So that domino scene where towards the end where he knocks over those dominoes and does all that craziness, that was formed with 22,000 dominoes, and it took 4 professional domino assemblers. So let that sink in. That's
a job
that they do and get paid for. It took 4 of them 200 hours to set that up. Like, can you imagine? Like, when I think of stuff like that, though, what comes to mind is I remember this guy had built a leaning tower of Pisa out of Jenga blocks, and it took him an ungodly amount of hours. And there's a newscaster just, filming.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's like, "Hey, be real careful with that cord." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it." And he's like, "This is really interesting, and how you go." And then wrapped around the tower.
Yeah, walks around it.
And just went. And he's like, "I'm so sorry," because Guinness World Records was coming in later, and they couldn't do it at that point. Like, it was impossible. But yeah, that's what I thought of immediately.
Makes you wonder, of the 200 hours, how much of that was setting shit back up because assholes like that like bump it. Okay, we're here. Producers are here, and they want to see your progress on that. Like, please don't bring them in here. Like, well, it's fine. They're just gonna look at it and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I really want to look at the these dominoes. I just want to see what they look. Maybe there's gonna be, and they're like, whoops."
They probably did it real condescendingly too, like, "Hey, some of the producers are in here and they want to see how you set up the toys." Like,
yeah, the toys.
They're not toys. Well, you know what I mean. I mean, they're kind of toys.
Oh no, no disrespect, but it's dominoes. Also, where the fuck was my high school gowns counselor on that? Like, hey, you can just set up dominoes for a living,
right? You get paid a lot. Second, all of V's dialogue had to be dubbed because they tried putting a microphone into the mask, and they actually had one.
They'd just be eating it
on Hugo Weaving's hairline, which I don't know if you've seen Hugo Weaving. It's not here. It's like over here. So I don't know how that worked out real well. But neither worked out. So they actually filmed the whole movie and then had him dub over it. And actually, there was another actor who did about 6 weeks of work playing V, and then ended up dropping out. And they're like, we don't need his voice anyway, so we're just not gonna reshoot those. Just do them over.
Who voiced it?
Hugo Weaving.
Oh, he actually. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Next film, and this is another one that you've confirmed you haven't seen. So we're hopefully 3 for 5.
Bring it, baby.
Homicide detective John Hobbs witnesses the execution of serial killer Edgar Reese. Soon after the execution, the killings start again, and they are very similar to Reese's style. Starring Denzel Washington, John Goodman, and Donald Sutherland, directed by Gregory Hoblet, which sounds like a tiny hobbit, like a baby hobbit.
Is it because it sounds like the word hobbit?
Yes, it's a hoblet.
It's a baby hobbit. It's a hobbit. Exactly. I get it now. Okay.
There it is. It is 1998's Fallen.
Is this the one where like the serial killer would go into like the other bodies?
Yes. Yeah,
okay, I have seen it then.
Okay. Yeah, it was like the demon Azazel.
I don't remember loving this film.
Here's the thing, it's one of my favorite movies.
I'll go back and watch it again then. If you loved it, I will certainly also love it, but I remember seeing it like when it came out. What year was it again?
1998.
Yeah. So I was 14 at the time.
Yeah.
So that being said, our favorite movie of all time is at 22% right now, so that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
So I think I'm gonna go on this one at. I don't remember anything about this movie except for the absolute very end of it. And I'm gonna say that this is. I don't know. This could be anywhere. No score would surprise me on this movie. It's Denzel Washington, so I feel like he gets points just for being Denzel.
This is prime Denzel too. This is late.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give him some extra points. I'm going.
Go with your gut. Don't overthink it, man.
Fresh 80%.
Okay. Well, I mean, you should have not done that. So
well, you told me to go with my gut.
So 80%?
Yeah.
Okay. It is not fresh.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. It is actually rotten at 40%.
Fuck off. That was a good movie.
I liked it. You don't even remember it. But you
I remember
me, and that makes me feel good.
I do. And that's like, you say you like it, I know I'm going to like it.
Yeah. It was fun. I liked it a lot. So the first day of shooting was scheduled to be the scene where Hobbs arrives at a cabin for the first time. A huge rainstorm was passing through the area at the time, so producer Charles Robin decided to send the equipment truck out to the location much earlier than normal so they didn't get bogged down by the rain. Smart decision, you think? However, due to it being so dark and with such heavy rain, visibility was poor, and on the side of the road to the cabin, which is the only road to the cabin, the truck hit a tree. And it blocked the only access road to the cabin. The rest of it was all forest. So there wasn't anything that could be done. By the time they got everything cleaned up, it was already dark. So one day into shooting the movie, they were already one full day behind. And Charles Robin said that it was the worst first day of shooting in his entire career.
I believe it.
Yeah. All right. You still don't have a terrible game going, even with that one. You still got. I think you can still piece something together. This last one, I know you've seen.
Okay.
So we're good there. Disgruntled Korean war vet Walt Kowalski sets out to reform his neighbor Tao Lor, a Hmong teenager who tried to steal Kowalski's prized possession, a 1972 Gran Torino. Starring Clint Eastwood, directed by Clint Eastwood. What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Never saw it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Definitely didn't see it.
All right, who are we rating? Who are we rating?
That's the end of that one.
Let's just wrap it up. Wrap it up. Jesus. I'm fucking... That one, I'm a bit disappointed in, man, because that is too...
Nope, didn't see it.
So Fallen and Gran Torino are two of my all-time favorite movies.
I'll see it.
You
Damn.
need to. You fucking need to. But yeah, it's I mean, all the wins out of my sails now. It's 2008.
Here's the thing. I know this was a good movie, and this was nominated, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Best Picture, right?
I think. I don't know. I didn't dive that deep, but I remember.
Pretty
loving
sure
every
it
minute of
was. This will be a critic darling as well because he's racist. So this is going to be fresh. Definitely fucking certified fresh because of the Academy nomination. We are looking at certified fresh 92%.
92. It is certified fresh.
No surprise there.
Not what you gave it though. It is certified fresh at 79%.
Okay.
So what's that? 13? Yeah. So a couple fun things here. Walt's dog in the movie, Daisy, is actually Clint Eastwood's beloved family retriever in real life.
Well, the more you know.
That's really his dog. Second,
nepotism at its worst.
right? The death scene near the end of the movie was supposed to signify the acting retirement of Clint Eastwood because he has not lost a gunfight in any other film that he's ever been in. He's never been killed.
Well, now I don't have to watch this movie.
Yeah, well, that happened. Since this is the only movie in which a character dies on screen, this held true for only 4 years when the filmmakers of Trouble with the Curve convinced him to come out of retirement and star in the movie, and then he also played in The Mule, which is another really good movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just started acting again, being really old. But let's round you out, man.
Did you write everything down clearly this time?
I did.
You got a D in here. I don't know what that is.
So let's see. 2, 4.
You score on Fallen's a monkey fucking a coconut.
4. You're at 87.
Hey, I kept it under 100.
You did. Look at you guys. So yeah, that was our death
Is there?
show. Yes, sir. So what we'll do with the Deathpool is we'll keep notes on who it is or who's there on our respective lists as they come up. We'll have a nice little board created that has Betty White over a chalkboard, probably.
Yeah.
Just crudely cross them out as they, kick the bucket throughout the year.
Yep.
But yeah, let us know how you did. For the viewers at home, feel free to leave it down in the sweet comments down below. Let us know who your thoughts are as far as the Deathpool. Go ahead and introduce your thoughts. Who do you think is gonna have their lives abruptly ended in the year of our Lord 2020?
Mine is like, I was thinking too on this was like, Who would have an accident and be like, who's going to Paul Walker it this year?
I was trying to do that too. I was like, should I put Slash on here? But
I
he
was
doesn't
going to
know
put
a
in
bunch of
Queen
crazy shit
Latifah.
anymore. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You wanted one fucking wild card in there.
Queen
And
Latifah.
I want. Yeah. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head, and it was getting real close to crunch time.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, fucking roll with Kirk Douglas for that last one.
You did fine,
good.
man. You did good. Yours are real solid. You know what? Funny? No overlap.
What's that?
No overlap. I thought we would pick the same ones.
That's actually pretty impressive.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, man. Ready to bring it home?
Yeah, bring it home, baby girl.
All right. So thank you again, everybody, for being here. We appreciate you endlessly and immensely. Feel free to drop us a follow, drop us subscribe, smash that little bell icon and whatnot. And though we talked a lot about death today, I look forward to seeing each and every one of you for years and years to come. We appreciate you, and yeah, you guys have a fucking great one.
I am Bloody the Elf for SuttySmash, saying, guys, keep it posy.
There it is.
That was so good. Maybe the best one yet. Maybe. And by maybe, I mean most definitely.